Hello, day 39 of our reflective tarot. So it's the 7 and 9 of Wands, which is Netzach of Yesod. So it's on the masculine outgoing energy and the central pillar. Netzach is today, the bits I'm going to be talking about is willpower, drive, focused energy, determination and commitment, and Yesod about connection, intimacy, yearning, desire and relationship. The path between Yesod and Netzach is the sun. So there, the diagonal. So the reflections I've had on these is the sun as illumination, as self-revelation, and also that process of individuation, of understanding who we really are, not who we think we are or who we project out, but who we are. And I was thinking, well, the sun, it infuses us with light and it makes things grow and it brings joy like that child. But it also metaphorically infuses the soul with light and warmth, kind of opening us up like a flower. And these experiences can be like really uplifting, but they can also be really uncomfortable. You know, to see ourselves in true light is sometimes extremely uncomfortable. So these illuminations, they can come direct from spiritual intuitive insights, kind of from the spiritual sun, so to speak, or brought about by cosmic energies. So you know, the active planetary archetypes, those energetics, or they can come from situations, experiences, and often in relationship with other people, and especially close relationships. We get faced with ourselves often in close relationships. So this child on the horse, just open-heartedness, you know, open heart, open arms, embracing. But I was thinking as I saw it sat between these two, it's just not reflected in those with the sun. It's like defensiveness, woundedness, but I was thinking that could have, and often does, occur in childhood, you know, childhood trauma or childhood misunderstanding that we, you know, gets put in our program, our software, in our subconscious, or via conditioning experiences as we grew up, you know, which kind of make us close up and close down to connection and commitment in relationship. But I was thinking not just with others, but with ourselves, with the environment, with source, spirit. So 7 of Wands. So this is Netzach. The 7's the 7th Sephirot. So that drive and focus seems to have been directed in a determined effort to defend himself against real or perceived threat, an attack. You know, I mean, I asked the question before, is anyone on the end of those wands? You know, we often have to ask ourselves that when we feel under threat, you know, what's underneath it. Often it's, well, 9 times out of 10 it's within us. And the 9 of Wands, he's put up his barricades and keeping his feelings and passions close to his chest. and his facial expression, if you can see that. I love that face. But it kind of appears really suspicious, and I'm thinking in terms of Yesod, it's a suspiciousness of relationship and intimacy, which are the positive Yesod. But then I was thinking either of these approaches are ways of keeping our actual desires, this Yesod desire, at bay. We're using the willpower of Netzach to deny these deep yearnings for meaningful relationships to all things. You know, I mean, if we have our desires thwarted or our desires have been abused, then yeah, we can put up the barriers against even feeling that within us. And yesterday, I think it was, we were looking at that fierce connection to compassion and truth. And here again, it's why it's necessary to open our arms and heart, like that sun card, to the illumination our soul brings us. That channel of Yesod is bringing to bear all the energetics of the upper Sephirot, and that's to bring us into relationship with our true self, to release the divine essence. Yeah, so the defensiveness and the paranoia really is the fear of this pure energy for whatever reason, but the ultimate, it obstructs the flow of love to us and from us. So the invitation of this path between Netzach and Yesod is to return to the essence of the heart, our inner child, and embrace the truth of who we are, but also who we've become, what we project out. So yeah, it's the opportunity to return to that wholeness, return to source intact in a sense. But the ones, they're speaking of feelings and passion, and we got to connect fully with those feelings and passion and listen to our felt responses, our bodily responses, not be defensive, or attacking or guarded, and shut down when they arise. And we can do that via that attack. We can do it via projection of blame, paranoia, suspicion. They're kind of clear markers of repressed feelings and that lack of flow of balanced passion and desire. So I was thinking, we need to acknowledge our true desires and yearnings in order to master them. If we don't acknowledge them and say they're there, we can't master them. If we've got desire, say, for an intimate relationship, and that's not coming, or our relationships always fall apart or whatever, then we need to acknowledge that yearning, not, back people off and, use other means for denying our true feelings. So, acknowledging our true desires, our yearnings, and then we can master them and have the proper focused energy of Netzach. And then that can be directed outwardly, lovingly, truthfully, without masks. These are masks. So authentic, passionate presence in the world. So really, I think that was the base of my reflection, and I think basically what we need to do, I shouldn't use that word, but the object of it is to look at, you know, where am I defensive? Where do I attack? What triggers me into attack? Whether it's verbal or, you know, what triggers me into shutting down, closing up, or am I always closed down? Am I listening to my feelings? Am I allowing passion to flow, whether it's what we term negative or positive? But is there a flow of passion, or has my life become very A, B, C, D, you know, kind of repetitive? Excuse me, just eating my lunch rather. Yeah, so they're questions only we can answer for ourselves. But yeah, it's proper, authentic relating to ourselves, to everything, our desires, our passions, everything. So I think what I'll do is I will pull us some tarot and see if there are any specifics that want to be highlighted. Yeah, it's a difficult one, but I know, you know, I'm aware if I'm kind of blaming and not taking responsibility, or I'm feeling a level of you know, paranoia, it's within, you know, it's just within. It's a defense mechanism. It's a way of denying something. Oh, okay. Oh. Ten of Swords. Nine of Swords. Two of Swords. Oh my goodness. Well, what more can you say? Well, we got, I mean, look at that imagery. It's all dark. It's all that kind of dark mind, kind of, I mean, we're talking here about passion and feeling. This is all mental. And, you know, my feeling about these cards and what the reflections were was the closing down. Yeah, it might have been an emotional trauma or a conditioning, and it might be in feeling, but actually it's our minds and our small minds. So we got the Ten of Swords. I mean, yeah, end of cycle. It could be a message of a 10 and 9, end of cycle. We have 10 in Yesod, sorry, Malkuth, which is the world, and we have the 9 in Yesod. You know, this is conflict, this is mental torment. This, you know, this could be the end. There's a decision, you know, but not a blind one. I think we need to open up to our inner sense of who we are, the feeling sense, the felt sense, the passion, the yearnings, the desires, and take it out of the mental body and bring that end of cycle. Otherwise we're going to reflect into the world, you know, that kind of defensive, angry or suspicious, barricaded. It's an obstruction to the flow of love into us and out of us. I mean, that's pretty stark, those three cards. But it's also like ends of cycles. I don't believe we've got this rise of consciousness, you know, and I don't believe that we can remain constantly barricaded in. It's almost as if our soul essence is banging down the doors now. Let's pull us an elemental, and then I'll pull us a Rumi. Don't want to finish without a Rumi. Just an elemental. We have an earth card. This has come up several times over the last 30 odd days. Visualizations will help you to heal. See your body bathed in a glow. Yeah, that's the kind of the visualizations. I don't know for you, but I know for me, they actually help to elicit a feeling, that one's fire energy, that feeling sense. It kind of, visualizations would take you out of that mental body. So I don't know if that's helpful. Right, let's get us a Rumi. We must have a Rumi. The prophet of passion. The prophet of fire. Yeah. Passionate love. I mean, it is what we're, you know, it's what we're built for, really. But I think we sometimes underestimate our ability to flow with that kind of feeling. It's almost like the human race has been so distracted by entertainment and fear and all sorts that we've lost that capacity to really connect with ourselves and our passions and desires. Yeah, you who show the world the way, number 33. So I'll read that out. 33 is the master number. Oh yeah, it's about the mind again. The logical mind runs away from drowning. Lovers accept drowning in the sea as their destiny. The logical mind finds consolation in reaching a level of comfort in life. Lovers are focused beyond their comfort. Yeah, so, you know, lovers, passion, feeling that kind of this, you know, embracing passionate love. And he's talking about logical mind, you know, it's getting lost in your mind, not able to, you know, you get lost and have to make decisions rather than going with the flow of feeling. There we are. That was his little short bit, and it says, I have looked to you in my darkest moments, searched for you as though fumbling for the candle and matches during an unexpected and interminable blackout. I am the ship at sea, seeking you as a guiding light. Nay, I am the sea rising up to the horizon, because I yearn to be closer to you. Then, oh, to my greatest relief, you rise like a phoenix from the ocean, casting hallowed golden light all around you, this great blazing angel of holy fire. In a sweet instant, my soul rests in your presence. The sea becomes calm, the darkness abates. Your light reveals truth, and through your living presence, I know my true self again. I am what you are. Even when it appears I'm returning after being lost in the darkness, as though I could ever be extinguished. I'm divine light. I am you, a living sun. Yeah, it kind of says it all, doesn't it? He's talking about yearning, desire. He's talking about the mind, that, you know, a logical mind running away from that. We're very much taught to be in the mind. I know it's been a struggle of mine because I'm quite mindy, you know, and when there's that kind of imbalance of the passion feeling with the mind, we shouldn't get rid of the mind, but the mind should be our tool, just the same as our ego. Balanced ego is a tool, the mind is a tool, but this kind of passion, this yearning, this, they're the soul, they're the soul feelings. Yeah, so hope that's useful to you. Lots of love, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.